Friends, for the last week or so, CZN has been killing it on updates, fixing problems, doing some localization fixes, all these different things. But it's not just them that's been killing it. Our community is out here creating some of the coolest tools I've seen. I'm going to share one of those with you today because I think you're going to find it incredibly valuable. But first, you know I love to travel, and I just got back from fabulous Las Vegas, and I didn't even have to gamble because my partners at Raid Shadow Legends gave me $200 worth of free stuff, which you can get as well by clicking the link below in the description of this video. It's going to give you over $200 worth of items and legendary characters. You get 2 with the codes down below, as well as some epics. So join me in Raid Shadow Legends, and you don't have to gamble to do it. You get that stuff for free. I'll see you soon. All right, so here I am. I'm back in the chaos. I'm in rank 7 over here. And I'm showing you this because this is a tier 11 save data value. And I'm at a place now where I need to really start focusing on good decks because I have yet to be able to beat the version 9 of the Nebula Distortion. I've gotten through 6, but I want to get all the way through the top, right? And so I've decided I need to get crazy and get some really good decks. And thankfully, an amazing community member named Yuri412, you can see it up in the corner here, has created the save data calculator. And it's one of the coolest things I've seen. So I'm going to walk through using this, and let me back out. We'll go back to selecting a character, but I'm going to back in here and I'm going to run this as a Tressa kind of showcase because I need to build something for her. Okay. So I'm going to pop in here. I'm going to set this to 11. And what I see right off the bat, and you can follow along, is I've got 130 points at the top here. You can see it on her character sheet of freedom for my save data. I can also come to the bottom and see a bunch of tips that they've given. For example, they spell out, so, Yuri spells out all the different point values for doing different things like removing cards. First one's free, card duplication, first one free, plus 20 if it's a, remove cards a base card from this value. And they give tips on the bottom. For example, first duplication's free, first removal is free as long as it's not a base card. Otherwise it's 20, by the way. Convert base cards and then remove it saves you some 20 points penalty. They call it the Divine Epiphanies, aren't always great from a save value perspective. And so this to me is just a quick come down and read it. It's really got valuable information for you. But now what I want to do is I want to come up here, I'll expand this out. And the build I'm going to go for Tressa, for me, is really going to be a how do I generate the most, bleed damage or agony damage. And I'm going to start right off the bat with getting rid of one of my dagger throws because the build that I'm going for is going to try to generate with healing. And so I don't need a bunch of dagger throws. And you're going to see because that was a base card, one of our starting 8, I'm going to use 20 of my points up here. Now, another thing for this particular build, and I've got a different screen up that shows me my epiphanies, but within the Shadow Reload skill, so this one down here, there is one that when healed by a skill card creates 1 Shadow Dagger. I pair her with Mika, and so this becomes an incredible, card to use, and that's a regular Epiphany. Now, it's not to say it can't be a Divine Epiphany, but it's at least on the regular side, and I like to copy this at least twice. And so I'm going to try to do that here. So I'm going to duplicate the first time. You're going to see it didn't cost me anything. I'm going to duplicate it a second time, and now I've used a couple of extra points. But this is a good way for me to start kind of generating daggers, okay? Then I'm going to look at her Unsheathed Dagger, because this is another place I have 2 options. I can run it as an upgrade if I get the right pull, and then it creates a dagger automatically every single turn. Or I can get the one with +3 agony, and it creates 2 Shadow Daggers. So either way, it's something I'm going to want. So again, it's going to be an Epiphany, and I'm going to duplicate this if I can. So, hopefully I get the duplicates, right? And I'm now kind of in a position where I've got too many cards. I got 18. I'm not going to have an efficient build. And so I do need to remove another one. And so I'm going to try to take a dagger throw. Now, I know for a fact that luck isn't perfect, and just getting what I want here is probably going to be really tough. And so I'm going to remove this one and not do the conversion. But look at what that did to me. That jumped me all the way up to 90 of 130, which is kind of insane, okay? But in theory, I should be okay with this because these are upgrades for my Shadow Reload, and so I'll come down by 3 cards once I play those, so it's not that big of a deal. And if the unsheathed dagger gets my upgrade version, it's another 2 that I come down. So it's not as bad as it seems, but I do want to get rid of some of the waste. And you may be wondering why I didn't get rid of Touch of Darkness. Well, it's because this can generate 3 daggers if I get the right build. So even though it's a heal, it's actually just converting from the card itself into 3 attacks. So it's actually a really good trade-off in this particular build. I say this because I run this at the moment, but I need this in the Shadow version or in the new seasonal version. And then another great one would be a regular Epiphany on Curse, because Curse is another place that I can get a lot of value from Agony. Now, I think I'm probably pushing my luck saying I can copy more cards because I've already got, what, 1, 2, 3 copies I'm trying to drive here. I'd love to copy this card again. And if you get the upgrade versions, they're really nice because, again, you just kind of run them out of your deck. And then, you know, let's just assume that I probably will end up getting a Divine Epiphany over here. And you'll see I'm at 110 out of 30 points. So my Tressa, I know that if I can get just the basic example going, I'm going to have a decent Tressa build. And I even have room for example, another neutral card. So I could use my last 20 points to get some sort of a neutral card, you know, going over here, whatever one I might want to pick. So what I know from testing this now or playing with this tool is that if I am trying to target a heal generating build that has a lot of places to add Agony, I've got a good shot of doing that and not crushing my save data. So for me, this is pretty huge, and it tells me that I also want to start running this from probably at least the level 9 stages or up. So I could be safe at, if I didn't have this neutral card, I could be safe to start running my save data for what I want to build for her at level 9 if I skip my Divines. Now, if I want room for Divines, I'm going to have to bump myself up a couple levels, because if you come down here, it's going to say that my Divines are going to cost me an additional 20 points. So I have room for either 1 neutral card or 1 Divine on my Tressa build. So this is really what I wanted to show you. And look, I can pick another character. Maybe I run her with Hugo, right? And I can, you know, build him out. So I can take this, set it up for whatever team I'm running. It would never be that team. I was putting Ika in there. And now I can have this up on another screen. And as I'm going through my chaos run, I get to sit here and kind of map out what I'm doing. And do I think that this is a viable, you know, creative, good build? So I want you to go over to this page. Again, it'll be linked down below. Make sure you give credit to Yuri. I'm assuming this is made by Yuri, obviously, because this is the name up in the corner here. But I can't see a better tool than this unless the developers just put this in the game naturally, which, to be fair, I think they should do. But in the absence of that, guys, this is a phenomenal thing to use. And hey, if showcasing this tool has been valuable for you, please do me a favor, drop below, like and sub, help me hit that 10K. I'm getting very, very close. And while you're down there, don't forget to click the link for Raid Shadow Legends, $200 worth of free stuff. It's fun. Give it a shot. And until our next video or live stream, friends, please take care of yourselves.